supervising government programs that need our people, that meets our people needs. The people expect you to fully use your legislative oversight and representative roles to their benefits. And you can only fulfill people's expectations if you put their needs above partisan consideration. It therefore calls on you, honorable members, to see yourselves first as South Sudanese and second as your party's representatives. And when you do so, you will find it easy to cooperate on issues that matter to the people. You will also find many areas of agreement in your legislative agenda when the country and its people take the central stage in your deliberations. I know the parties who nominated you matter, but I call upon all of you to place the people of South Sudan above any narrow party interest. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, in our case, having functioning parliament is essential to the full implementation of the peace agreement. That is why there was a huge sigh of relief when you took your oath on the 2nd of August 2021. The relief came because the delay in the process of reconstituting the TNLA was a matter of serious concern to our citizens and partners, especially those tasked with monitoring the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. Despite the delays we have encountered, in the process, the opening ceremony we are holding today marks yet another milestone in our determination to implement the agreement fully. The steps we have taken and continue to take in the process should give our people, the IGA region, the African continent, and indeed the wider international community confidence that the agreement is being implemented despite the delays. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, our policy objective for the transitional period is to end the war by implementing the revitalized peace agreement fully. This agreement provides the only path to a stable and prosperous South Sudan. Let us all, therefore, strive to implement it as the way of putting our country on the path of permanent stability. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, Since February 2020, your counterparts in the executive branch have been working. Most of the files they have worked on require your review and approval before they can move forward. Today, I am drawing your attention to these files to ensure that they top your legislative agenda. One of such files is the national budget. It has already been debated and approved by the cabinet, and it awaits your discussion and final approval. I urge you to take this up as a matter of urgency because the country cannot any longer afford to operate without an approved budget. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to implement the various chapters and provisions of the revitalized peace agreement, we should always remember that our final mandate in this process is to hold free, fair, and credible democratic elections at the end of the transitional period. This means giving people the power to choose their leaders. And this is a collective responsibility that we must shoulder because it is the only way we can achieve political stability in our country. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the challenges you will face in moving this process forward are huge. In order to expedite peace implementation, you need to pick up where the National Constitutional Amendment Committee, NCAC, has stopped after their mandate. This body has already worked on a number of laws that are critical to the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. It has reviewed most of petroleum, security, and institutional reform laws. The Ministry of Justice has also done some work on Chapter 5 in the area of transitional justice and accountability. It is also working on the permanent constitution making process bill. Further, there are provisional orders on Petroleum and Gas Corporation, national public health, cybercrime, and computer misuse, and Eastern and Southern African Trade and Development Bank that have been assented to, which the Ministry of Justice will table before this August House. Honorable members, You also need to enact laws on eradication of the recruitment and use of child soldiers, as well as laws preventing human trafficking. You need to review and enact these not to police others, but to implement the revitalized peace agreement and secure our future. In addition, some of these laws will put us at par with our counterparts in the region on pressing issues like human trafficking. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, your work on legislative tasks should be informed by your role as the representative of the people. The people you represent have huge expectations on you during this transitional period. Meeting their expectations is our collective responsibility as the government. We, for example, still have our people in displacement camps in neighboring countries. There are also internally displaced persons in our country who will need to be assured of their security in order to return to their areas. We know that for sustainable peace to be achieved, you as parliamentarians must use your oversight connection, must use your oversight function over the line ministries to design programs that will support the return of the displaced persons to their areas. The same oversight function should be directed to security forces to provide adequate security for the safety of those returning to their homes. These steps are necessary to provide a conducive environment for reconciliation and healing among our people. It is only after the displaced persons have returned to their ancestral lands that we can say we have a total peace in our country. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, ending insecurity in our country is key to our progress. We all know insecurity can undermine peace. Insecurity also creates chaos that prevents genuine debate on the future of the country. This is why I am today calling upon us in the government, community leaders, and civil society organizations to work together to find a lasting solution to the issue of insecurity. Unless we solve the issue of insecurity, South Sudan will not be peaceful, our economy will not grow, and our people will remain underdeveloped. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, on security arrangements outlined in Chapter 2 of the agreement, we are nearing the completion of its implementation. Already approximately 53,000 forces composed of soldiers from all the parties all the parties to the agreement are in training centers across the country. Our resolve to graduate these forces has been doubted, but I would like to assure you that necessary arrangements for their graduation are at advanced stage. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, while the quest for an inclusive peace in our country remains our sole objective, recent killings of innocent civilians along Juba-Nimule Highway and on Ye-Juba Road by elements of South Sudan Opposition Movement Alliance have tested our patience. We have signed with the SOMA the Rome Declaration and Rome Resolution, the recommitment to cessation of hostilities, December 2017, and the Declaration of Principles. The goal of signing these documents was to stop fighting and save innocent lives. This was a commitment to inclusivity. In addition, these documents were also part of confidence building process between the parties aimed at giving negotiations a chance for success to achieve a lasting peace. This is a win-win situation for all the parties. Now that SOMA is specifically the National Salvation Front, elements continue to violate these commitments, we have decided to pause the ongoing Sant'Egidio-led Rome Peace Initiative. I said we have paused the negotiations in Rome. Our pursuit of an inclusive peace should never be taken for a weakness and used as a window to kill the innocent. Talks with SOMA will only resume after they cease from killing the innocent and show their commitment to documents they have signed in Rome. It is only when they meet these conditions that genuine dialogue with them will continue to resume. Right Honorable Speaker. Well, of course, I know SOMA has members here. But we will still get you. Honorable, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, internally, the recent disagreement within the SPLM AIO is a matter of concern to all of us. And I am urging our brothers and sisters within the SPLM-IO party to pursue dialogue and end this dispute peacefully. We have covered a long distance in our work to implement the revitalized peace agreement. This is not the time to allow an internal rift within the party to reverse the gains we have achieved. Let us all remain united in calling for dialogue as a means for resolving this dispute. We must all show we do care for our people by protecting them, avoiding violent conflict, and use the peace we have created to work for their prosperity. At the communal level, in the states and counties, issues of cattle rustling, community and intercommunal violence are worrying and need our attention here at national level. The same applies to recent phenomena of youth violence against NGOs and other South Sudanese. Honorable members, now that you have been sworn in and your order of business launched, your focus should turn to supporting our efforts to address the above challenges. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, in recognition of the hardships faced by public servants because of constant delay of their salaries, I directed the Ministry of Finance and Planning during my address to the nation on July 9th to pay the arrears and start paying salaries regularly. I directed the Minister of Finance and Planning to increase salaries of civil servants by 100% as phase one, and subject the salary structure to periodic review as our economy improves. I'm sure the days of green pasture for South Sudan will come very soon. I'm now informed that the ministry has been paying arrears, and it has almost caught up with the payment. I have been briefed also that June and July salaries are ready to be paid out, but delayed due to the breakdown of pay sheet generating machine in the Ministry of Labor. I call upon the Ministry of Labor to urgently repair the pay sheet machine so that salaries for June and July are immediately paid out. Honorable members, I expect you to use your oversight function to tackle the challenge of irregular payment of salaries to public servants. You also need to work with Ministry of Finance and Planning to review salary structure to ensure our public servants are paid living wage. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the high prices of essential commodities are hurting the public. The public. Although South Sudanese pound has strengthened against United States dollar as a result of the Bank of South Sudan partnership with our international partners, traders are still charging highly for essential goods. In the face of this challenge, we continue to be advised that prices will eventually come down as supply and demand balance out. However, these persistent high prices are affecting the purchasing power of many of our citizens. Now that this August House is reconstituted, I'm urging you, honorable members, to look into how we can overcome this problem. This is important because improving the well-being of our people is our priority. More importantly, these hardships are also a source of instability as those who wish us can use them to further endanger the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. And I know you have all been following in the social media those who are calling you to go on the streets. These are people who wish us ill so that we don't improve. This, of course, is not what we want. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, while your legislative agenda will be preoccupied with passing laws to support agreement implementation, your oversight role in overseeing development projects is equally critical. We cannot defer development to some other times. It must go hand in hand with peace building. This is why I am urging you, honorable members, to prioritize supervision of national projects, especially the road network across the country. This is key because these investments, specifically in infrastructure, are linked to improving security, encouraging agricultural activities to increase food security, facilitating investment, and providing employment to a significant portion of our population, and especially the youth. I have stated on my 10th anniversary speech that roads construction across the country is our priority. Currently, construction is ongoing on 1 Juba Bor Ayot Malakal Reng Highway. 2 Luri Bridge and Luri Highway. You know, Luri Bridge takes a toll of our people's life every year during the rainy season. I think U River Bridge in Wow. 4 Juba Nimule Highway. 5 Juba Tarkeka Ural Rumbek Road and Freedom Bridge in Juba. Contracts have also been signed for Juba, Lanya, Ye, Kaya Road, Juba Turit Kapoita Nadaba Road, Rumbek Toin Wow Kwajok Gourial Akon Awil Road, Gourial Urok Abiemnum Bentiu Pariang Jau Road, Rumbek Maper Mayandit Bentiu and Wow Raja Boro Medina Road. Other roads construction plans and contracts are in the pipeline for Jukau Nasser Malakal Road, Malakal Tunga Pariang Bentiu Road, Pagak Maiwood Matiang Paloj Malud Road, Bor Pibor Pachala Ayot Wat Akobo Road, Kapoita Boma Rad Road, and Akobo Gadiang Bor Road. All these road projects are important, and that is why we have dedicated crude oil for their construction for as long as it takes to complete them. It is my sincere hope that you will work with concerned ministries to streamline contracts and procurement processes. Moving forward, we want to project contracts with international dimension to consultant advice. Having a third party with the required expertise can help our country to get the best value for money, as well as minimizing instances of corruption. Honorable members, with our support, we must revive our policy of zero tolerance for corruption in all aspects. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, it is our shared responsibility to diversify the economy by moving it away from the current role dependency on oil revenues. This could be done by facilitating and channeling investments into other revenue generating activities, such as collections of non-oil revenues, incentivizing subsistence and cash crops based in agriculture, as well as initiating industrial development to help generate national revenue from other sources. This means reviving previous developmental schemes in states to create employment opportunities, stabilize local economies, and curtail rural-urban migration. These schemes include rice scheme in a will, currency center in Rumbek, and Zara and agro-industrial complex in Western Equatoria, Toin Kenaf project, Marial Bay Project Development Unit, PDU, Animal Husbandry, Mangala Sugar Scheme, Wow Breweries, Malu Sugar Scheme, oil refineries in oil producing areas, and developing mining sector, specifically gold mining. To further strengthen our local capacity, we need to look into supporting medium enterprises in industrial processing of widely available raw materials across South Sudan. These include available startup resources to enterprising young people for processing of Lulu oil from the Lulu seeds, fruit canning in areas with concentration of mangoes and guavas, sesame and groundnut oil processing, for example, Ural oil mill, and cowhide collection and treatment for export. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the issue of imbalance in regional development in health and education sectors deserves your attention. The Ministry of Health, with the concerted support from this esteemed house, needs to be given resources for the construction of modern regional referral hospitals in Wau and Malakal. This will remedy the present lack of a well-equipped hospital in Greater Bahr al Ghazal and Upper Nile regions. This proposed improvement in health and in the health sector can also be complemented by availing resources to the Ministry of Education for the construction of a state of art national boarding schools in all the states and administrative areas across the country. In our foreign relations, our interaction with other states and international organizations are guided by our desire for peaceful coexistence. This view prompted us to play a significant role in resolving the Sudanese conflict. Sudan now is stable because of the Juba Peace Agreement which we negotiated, while the SPLM North under General Abdulaziz Adam El-Helu and SLM under Abdel Wahid Mohamed Noor are yet to sign the agreement. We will continue to talk with them to join the process. On the same principle of peaceful coexistence with our neighbors, we are encouraging Ethiopia and Sudan to resolve their dispute over their shared border peacefully. Equally, we are talking with Ethiopia to use peaceful means to resolve its internal conflict in the Tigray region. Honorable members, in order to exert our influence in the region and beyond, we need to address two critical issues. One, paying membership fees we owe to regional and international organizations. Paying membership fees we owe to regional and international organizations and salaries of our diplomats. Our inability to pay our membership fees and to organizations we are part of, as well as paying our diplomatic staff, is a matter of great concern. These two issues need to be resolved quickly to allow our diplomats to effectively carry out their duties among their peers, both in the region and internationally. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, your parliamentary business cannot start without specialized committees. We in the executive earlier on assigned a committee to deal with the issue of responsibility sharing. Given that you are in an independent arm of the government, we are not going to interfere with how you conduct your business. by proposing how you structure your specialized committees. However, since the committees are part and parcel of your conduct of business regulation, I urge the Right Honorable Speaker, with her leadership, to set up a body that will determine the type and number of specialized committees for the TNLA. This work should be guided by the same, should be guided by the principles of fairness and collegial discussion among the parties. The same should apply to committees formation at the Council of States. Finally, as I mentioned in my address on the 10th Independence anniversary, all the 5 clusters of the Council of Ministers are functioning under the chairpersonship of the first Vice President, Dr. and the Vice Presidents. I have directed all the ministers to develop the policy framework and strategic plans of their ministries, incorporating the provisions of the agreement to ensure their implementation. These are the tools for laying the foundation for our country in terms of governance. You should take these equally serious so that we improve on transparency and accountability in the administration. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, just look at yourselves in this Freedom Hall. I would like each and every one of you to look to his or her right, left, and also in front and behind you. After doing this, I believe you will have to realize all of you in this hall are representatives of our people's diversity. You represent regions and ethnicities that make up South Sudan. Your representation in this hall is reflective of our inclusive diversity, a key building block for our people to live in peace, harmony, and solidarity. Our diversity also points us to the path of forgiveness, cooperation, and reconciliation. Let us all use this diversity to shun tribalism, because tribalism generates hate and destroys the unity of our people and the future of the nation. I wish you all the best. Sorry. I wish you all the best as you begin this parliamentary session. And I applaud each and every one of you for accepting the challenge to be members of this esteemed Parliament and the Council of States. May God bless you and our country, the Republic of South Sudan. Thank you very much. Now, the Parliament is open.